It's out of control, autism, out of control. And I think we maybe have the reason why.
President Trump is expected to make an announcement about autism today. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will join us with a preview.
And here in your neighborhood, Corpus Christi police continue their crackdown on reckless driving. We'll have a look at how many arrests were made over the weekend. Plus,
a new partnership is working to change the path to success for architecture students. I'm Michaela Chavez on the South Side, learning how two institutions are working to keep local talent right here in our backyard.
good morning, folks. Happy Monday and welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. You're waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, folks. Let's dive on into a great week ahead, starting off with our meteorologist, Diamond Dixon, giving us a look at the weather and the roads if people are just heading out the door. Good morning, Diamond.
Good morning.
Well, good morning, Michelle and Brian. Well, that's right. Roads were looking pretty good this morning so far. We haven't seen anything too crazy. It's 6:01 this morning. We're looking at a closer look from Portland to the Harbor Bridge. Still looking good this morning. No issues there. We're taking a look at Ocean Drive. Also looking good. Minor slowdown along SPID. I imagine that will clear up pretty soon. And Saratoga's also looking good this morning. We even take it on over a little bit more so to Waldron Road, where we're seeing more of a slowdown along Waldron Road. That's in the past 15 minutes. And Flower Bluff Drive looking good, as well as the JFK Causeway. So if for any reason that you are traveling in the direction of Waldron Road, just expect a minor slowdown traveling in both directions. Now, looking at those drive times this morning from downtown to the island, 22 minutes. Portland to downtown, 8 minutes. And Calallen to downtown, looking at 15 minutes. So that's a look at your traffic this morning. We'll have more news and weather on the way.
Thanks so much, Diamond. We'll get to your neighbor news in just a bit, folks, but first a look at some national headlines. President Trump says that he's going to make a major announcement today about autism. The president gave a preview over Charlie Kirk's memorial on Sunday. Reports say today's announcement is expected to link a development of autism in children with the use of the pain reliever Tylenol during pregnancy. Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will join us at 6:12 with a preview. The president will also be in New York for the UN General Assembly. The gathering marks the group's 80th anniversary and comes amid wars in Ukraine and in Gaza. On Friday, the assembly voted to allow Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to address the gathering by video. Abbas has hoped to attend in person before the U.S. actually revoked his visa last month. The Trump administration says it's opposed to a two-state solution, saying it has emboldened Hamas.
The widow of conservative activist Charlie Kirk delivered an emotional eulogy during Sunday's memorial service in Glendale, Arizona. Erica Kirk was one of the featured speakers during the memorial at State Farm Stadium. The event attracted tens of thousands of people, as well as President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, members from the Trump administration, and other conservative activists. Erica Kirk told the crowd she has forgiven the man who allegedly killed her husband.
That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Erica married Charlie Kirk in 2021. He leaves behind 2 young children, a 1-year-old boy and 3-year-old girl. Erica Kirk has vowed to continue her husband's legacy.
Well, back here at home, the Corpus Christi police continue to crack down on reckless driving. CCPD made 7 arrests over the weekend. Drivers were observed either driving reckless or racing in various locations such as Water Street, Ocean Drive, Shoreline Boulevard, and Ennis Jocelyn. The drivers will be facing various charges, and all the vehicles, were impounded.
I'm Alexis Scott, your Northside Neighborhood News reporter. And for the past few years, I've driven through the Hillcrest and Washington Coles neighborhoods, and I've always noticed this building, the former Charles W. Crosley Elementary School. I spoke with neighbors about the memories there and looked into what could come next with the building. The school first opened in 1926 and served the Northside community for decades before closing in 2001. Now the campus sits vacant and boarded up after being heavily damaged by 2 fire incidents.
residents. Nueces County documents show the property is owned by Tabernacle of Praise Church since 2012. The property owner tells Chris 6 News the intention was to repurpose the building into a community church, but increased economic costs paused that idea. Instead, the owner plans to demolish the building and sell the property.
And that was Alexis Scott reporting. So architecture students at Del Mar College no longer have to transfer out to chase their dreams. The college has partnered with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi to offer a local licensed architect transfer program. It's one of only 9 in the state, and students will complete their first 2 years at Del Mar College with TAMUCC faculty teaching year 3 through 5.
I wanted to create that opportunity down here for the students that can't leave their communities, or it's challenging to leave their community.
And folks, make sure you stay tuned to our 20 minutes of nonstop news. Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez will have more on the new joint program.
Welcome back there, Coastal Web. Meteorologist Simon Dixon here with a live look outside our USS Lexington Skycam. Looks a little bit of a blurry image there, but we'll keep on trucking along for us this morning with some currents in your neighborhood. Temperature-wise, we're looking at 77 here in Corpus Christi and 76 for Beeville, 83 for Port Aransas, 80 for Rockport, 76 for Alice and Kingsville, 81 for the Naval Air Station, and 75 for Hepburnville. Our visibility is still impacted in Beeville as well as Alice at this hour, as well as Hepburnville, and those are going to be right around under 5 miles per hour, under 7 miles per hour for Alice, and they're at 3 miles for Hepburnville. South wind for most of our neighborhoods right now, also pretty calm, just around 6 miles and under for our neighborhoods, 10 for around Port Aransas. But what we're expecting this week, well, our fall season starts today. That'll be later on this afternoon. We get a cold front into our midweek, and those rain chances increase for us Wednesday and Thursday. So fall season is going to start for us. That's going to be at 119 today, so we're not so far along. We'll even feel some effects of our fall season by midweek. We're expecting a high of 94 today, mostly sunny. Stray showers are possible across some of our neighborhoods, but for the most part, we have a warm start to the week. As far as those forecast highs today, you can see that as we go out west, we're looking at upper 90s for our neighborhoods. That's also including Alice, Freer, Orange Grove, as well as George West for us. Our feel-like temperatures today are also going to hit into the triple digits for a good portion of our afternoon and into the early evening. So we took a look at our temperatures, low 80s across our coast and more into the 75 to 77 range as we go a little bit more out west. Feel-like temperatures prepare for that heat today between even noon and 4 o'clock and even into our 5 o'clock hour and 6 with those triple digit feel like temperatures that will stick around for us. Current winds, as I mentioned, also pretty light right now and calm. Those will increase into the afternoon with our temperatures. And if you're walking the dog this morning, this is Carol. Here's a look at what those temperatures look like between 78 and 90 degrees from 8 a.m. to 12 o'clock. Remember, we're going to feel a lot warmer today, so you'll be prepared. Keep in mind for their paw pads on the ground, but you should be good and safe between 8 and noon to walk your dog. Remember, between 1 and 6, it will still feel like triple digits outside. I'll have more weather coming up.
The White House is expected to make an announcement regarding autism. Coming up on Sunrise Scripps News Group's Joe St. George will join us with a preview of the announcement.
Hey, TAM fam.
Hey, welcome back, folks. 6:12 is your time on this Monday morning as we take a live look from our SPID Skycam. Oh, looks like someone maybe pulled over right there. Either that or a little bit of construction. Got to watch out for those. We'll be checking in with meteorologist Diamond Dixon in for us this morning. She's look at the forecast, but first we head to Washington, where President Trump has confirmed that the White House will actually make a major announcement today involving autism.
Yeah, to talk more about this, we bring in Scripps News Group Deputy Political Director Joe St. George. Good morning, Joe. So what do we expect the president to say about autism today, and how is the medical community preparing for the news?
Well, let's just start by this. I mean, if you're a parent, grandparent, future parent out there, I mean, this is something you're going to want to pay attention to. Autism Speaks, which is a nonprofit that advocates for more autism research, reports 1 in 31 children in the U.S. have a form of autism. 1 in 45 adults have a form of autism. So this is potentially going to be an extremely impactful event for so many families waking up with us in South Texas. The president yesterday during Charlie Kirk's memorial in Arizona really teased this. He set the bar high for this, saying that this is going to be one of the most important news conferences that he has ever had. Again, talk about setting the bar high. We expect the Trump White House to talk about some potential causes or links that they think may be contributing to this rise in autism in our country. Also some potential treatment options for parents out there. The Washington Post was first to report yesterday in their Sunday edition. I'm just going to read the headline here. Quote, Trump administration set to tie Tylenol to autism risk, officials say. Tylenol has yet to respond to that, but that gives you a little sense of what we are anticipating. We're expecting Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., to play a prominent role in today's announcements. This is an issue that he has been fixated on for some time before he became Secretary of Health and Human Services. So we wait for the announcement from the White House today and what it is, and then we'll wait for the medical community reaction. Remember, when we've been talking about this extensively in recent weeks, doctors, public health officials, there's been a strong pushback from the medical community in recent months to the Trump administration. We'll be monitoring any potential reaction they may have following what could be a historic autism announcement today at the White House. So guys, watching this carefully. Obviously, there's so much going on in the world, but this is something I know a lot of families and parents out there will be paying attention to.
Yeah, well, we appreciate your time and information, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah, great insight as always, sir. Looking forward to speaking again soon.
Welcome back there, Coastal Bad. Meteorologist Tammy Dixon here. Time for some more weather at 6:15 this morning. So temperature and feel like still low 80s along the coast. Looking at those temperatures as we go a little bit more out west, extending from 74 to 77 degrees this morning. 77 right now for here in Corpus Christi. Also same for Mathis and George West and Cotulla. Now looking at the rest of our winds right now, still pretty much alight. The most increased winds we see right now are right there along the coast. Port Aransas south wind 9 miles per hour, so just under 10 miles per hour. And for the rest of our neighborhoods, also pretty calm winds. Those will increase this afternoon along with our heat. For the past 10 hours, we were in the mid 80s for yesterday evening and into the low 80s closer to our midnight and 1 a.m. hour, upper 70s from 2 to 4, and we're kind of going back into that pattern of warming up into our morning. We'll warm up pretty slow, but for the most part, we have a mostly sunny day in store for us. Yesterday, we had a high of 94 degrees. That high, though, back in 1947 set the record at 102, but we will have feel-like temperatures in the triple digits today as well as tomorrow and even into our Wednesday. We also had some good rainfall as well yesterday, almost an inch in Robstown, almost 0.4 of an inch in Kingsville. So nonetheless, some rain's better than no rain. Our rain chances will increase, though, towards our Wednesday and Thursday. That'll be promoted from our cold front that we're expecting as well. So throughout our day, you can expect to warm up even into 1 o'clock into the 90s, lasting until 6 o'clock. We'll still be in the 90s. Our warmest part of the day is going to last a little bit longer today. You can expect from noon to 6 to be in that 90-degree weather, as well as those feel-like temperatures of the triple digits. Now, on average for this week, we look at an average of about 90 degrees, but through Wednesday, we will definitely be above that average. We're looking at, once again, 94, 96 degrees before we retreat a little bit with the heat Thursday from the cold front, before going slightly above normal again and evening back out to near normal headed into October. So today's heat risk, we're looking at more of a major heat risk as we go more so out west, but it's still even close to the coast between Rufio, Rockport, Corpus Christi, Staten, as well as there around Alice and Freer and Cotulla. Definitely increases into Tuesday, where we're expecting upper 90s across our neighborhoods. Even today out west, we're expecting upper 90s. Those conditions get slightly better into Wednesday. Once again, we'll have that cold front moving through to drop some of our temperatures for us, as well as with that cold front. But I'll tell you more about that coming up with more weather.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Kingsville, digging into the concerns of residents and a commissioner of the appointed city manager. Some question Charlie Sosa's prior history and say he does not meet the qualifications to do the job.
Well, it is Monday, folks. You know what that means. You've got to check in on those gas prices. Coming up on Sunrise, have a look at the cheapest prices all around town.
Covering local.
Welcome back, folks. Well, it is a Monday, and it might be time to fill up that tank if you did any driving over the weekend. But where to get the cheapest gas prices? Right here is where you can get that information, of course. I'm tracking all of them across the coast and nationally as well. Taking a look at the national average first, according to Gas Buddy, it is $3.15. That's actually down by 6 cents since Friday, after it saw that 9-cent jump last week. As for Texas, sitting a bit better, $2.70. That is actually down by 6 cents since Friday as well. Here in Corpus Christi, cheapest price I was able to find it. It's a bit tough out there because some of them are closer to $3. $2.58. It's actually tied at the Murphy USA and the Valero on Saratoga. That's in between Airline and Cimarron. As for our Portland friends, you're still a bit more expensive. Might be worthwhile driving here into Corpus Christi, as your cheapest price is $2.69 at the Murphy USA right next to the Walmart. Watch out again for those stations that are close to that $3 range. On to our island friends. The cheapest I was able to find is $2.79 right there at the Circle K, right when you get onto the island from Flower Bluff. As always, you can find cheaper prices than these guys because they do fluctuate during the day. Might be worthwhile stopping and filling up while you can, but I will have all of these prices posted on our website, christv.com.
Well, it's time to get another look at traffic at 6:22 this morning. So sorry for a little bit of a hazy view overlooking our USS Lexington Skycam, overlooking the new Harbor Bridge. We'll take a look at some of those local roadways that we have for you and see how traffic is looking once again at 6:23. Well, from Portland to the Harbor Bridge, we're still looking good. We just saw a little bit of a glimpse of that on our USS Lexington Skycam. Still looking good this morning from Ocean Drive, also looking good, as well as SPID and Saratoga. So yay, good for all three. Well, looking on over at Waldron Road, we're still seeing a slowdown in both directions, but Flower Bluff Drive looks good, as well as the JFK Causeway. So if for any reason you are headed out to Waldron Road, just know that there will be traffic in both directions, but it is just a little slight slowdown, nothing too crazy. Of course, that's it for your traffic report for right now. I'll have more weather coming up.
For Northside neighbors, the old Charles W. Crosley Elementary School is more than just an empty building. It's where memories were made. I'm Alexis Scott, telling you how the community remembers this school and what could come next with the building. You can now see.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Well, hey there again, Coastal Bed. Meteorologist Diamond Dixon here. Well, we have a live look outside our CCC camera overlooking Snoopy's Pier. This view a lot cleaner and sharper for you this morning. Well, traffic moving pretty smooth at 6:26 this morning. Nice and smooth there to start off our Monday morning. Well, of course, we have some things in store for us today between our temperatures, between our start of a new season. I hear it might be fall coming up, and our rain chances. So temperature and feel like wise, low 80s along the coast, and we're extending between our more west neighborhoods and a little bit inland there between 74 and 77 degrees this morning. Now we're feeling like a little bit of the low 90s there in Port Aransas, but for most of our other neighborhoods, we're feeling pretty close to on par with our actual air temperature and feel like temperature this morning. Now, once again, we're starting a new season today at 1:19 p.m. Beautiful fall begins. We're going to feel some effects of our fall season this week as early as our Wednesday, and we'll see some of those impacts even into our Thursday as well. But before we get to our midweek, our feel like temperatures will be in the triple digits from 12 to 6. I know it's kind of crazy to feel like those triple digits still into the end of September, headed into October, but we still have a couple more days that will look like this, and even tomorrow will be a lot warmer for us here in the coastal bend. Our south wind is hanging out for us this morning, mainly calm. We see the more increased wind towards Freer right now in Port Aransas between 8 and 9 miles per hour. Those winds will take an increase across all of our neighborhoods this afternoon with our temperature warm up as well. We're looking at a mostly sunny day, but every every day this week, we could see some stray showers. Once again, those increasing into our Wednesday and Thursday, expecting a high of about 94 degrees here in Corpus Christi. Now, with that hourly planner, we're going to hit that 90-degree mark between 11 and 12 today, and we hit the warmest part of our day between 2 and 4 p.m., and we'll still be hanging on to the 90-degree pattern even into 6 o'clock. So you can even notice that into 12 and in between 2, we start to see that wind pick up and mostly increase by 6 o'clock. Southeast wind around 15, 16 miles per hour. Now we're going out of September, headed into October. So typically for September, we see a high of about 90 degrees, and into October we see that around 85. So we're slowly making that transition for us, and with our rain chances, like I mentioned, that can also help our temperatures. We look at the best opportunity midweek between Wednesday and Thursday, between widely scattered, and even slightly numerous for us. So even in the next 6 to 10 days, we'll be likely wetter here in South Texas. So that's going to present us some better rainfall. That's going to be, once again, between 6 days out from now up until October 2nd. So planning out the rest of your week. Should you keep the umbrella on standby? Sure, why not? But just know that we will be warm between today and Wednesday before cold front arrives, dropping our temperatures into Thursday. We'll be definitely on par with our season, ending out the week with some near seasonal temperatures in the low 90s.
Sounds good, Diamond. Thank you so much. So the Moon Festival is happening this weekend. Coming up on Sunrise, from mooncake to K-pop demon hunters, we have a preview of V-Mart's event and how you could have a chance to win a Labubu.
Some TV stations.
You know what's so cool about the Coastal Bend? You get to experience different cultures, and you don't even need a passport. You can do that right here at V-Mart on the South Side. They have an event that's actually coming up, and to talk about it, I have one of the owners with me, Cece Wang.
Hi, Michelle.
We're talking about your event that's coming up Saturday, September 27th. Tell us about it.
We call Moon Festival events. It is also as known as Mid-Autumn Festival. It falls on the 15th days of the 8th lunar month. We celebrate the fullest, the brightest moon, and we moon gazing. We have lighting lanterns. That's our tradition. And this year we decided to make it bigger. We want to gather in all our community together to celebrate the harvest, spend time with family, and give thanks. It is a moment we slow down, and then we appreciate all the people and blessings in our life. And one of the iconic traditions is eating mooncake. Mooncake is a round pastries with sweet and savory fillings, and that means unity. That means the fullest and gathering together.
That's awesome. So I know you guys have a lot planned for this event, a lot of fun activities.
The event starts at 4 p.m. We're going to have 2 full movie shows. One of them is our kiddos' favorite movie, K-pop Demon Hunters, and the second one will be Over the Moon. And then we're gonna have Taiko Club come for a 30 minutes performance, and we're gonna have some food trucks. We're gonna have our very, very special, unique food booth from V-Mart. We have made a special menu, and you're gonna see very unique items from the cute lanterns and different flavors of mooncakes. We're gonna have mooncake samples. So you can have one time trying different mooncakes. Of course, we're selling them as well.
If you guys don't know, V-Mart is an awesome store that sells all kinds of Asian products. And I know it's a great way to even experience Asian culture too, in a fun way, because you guys keep up with the trends, right?
Yes, we do have the viral ice creams. We do have the Dubai chocolates now.
And I gotta mention the Labubus too, right?
Yes, yes. During the event, we are selling the raffle tickets. It's $5 for each to get a chance to win the Labubus. The bigger size, I think they are on the market right now, is about $600.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to say?
We really appreciated all our community support for any of our events. Hopefully, you will enjoy this time, and we're going to see you next one.
Well, again, Cece, thank you so much for your time today. And again, folks, the event is Saturday, September 27th. It is called the Moon Festival event right here on VMart. If you guys need any more information on what to expect, the specific times in case you forget, just make sure you visit our website, christv.com. And that's all the time we have right now.
Welcome back there. Coastal Band meteorologist Diamond Dixon here, taking a quick look at our temperatures and feel like still same scenario, low 80s along the coast, about 74 to 77 degrees as we go a little bit out from Corpus Christi on out west to Cotulla, down south to Hebronville. Now, once again, looking at those feel like temperatures from this morning into the afternoon, we're going to take a nice warm up from noon to 6, feeling like the triple digits today. We're going to have a little bit of a warm start to our week through Wednesday, where we're going to see temperatures in the mid to even upper 90s for some of our neighborhoods. Current winds right now, a little bit out of the southeast. Right now, pretty small wind speeds right now, under 10 miles per hour. Most increased wind we see between Port Aransas and Freer 8 to 9 miles. Those winds will increase this afternoon along with our heat. And if you're walking the dog, this is Carol. Those temperatures between 8 to 12, between 78 and 90 degrees out of the south and southeast with those winds. So if you're walking the dog, that'll be a good time before the heat really settles in this afternoon.
Fam, this is...
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of nonstop news.
Hey, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. We have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning, but first we have to check in with meteorologist Diamond Dixon to see how the roadways are looking. Good morning, Diamond.
Morning.
Good morning, Michelle and Brian. Well, hey, we're looking at traffic again at 6:40 this morning, and traffic has been moving pretty smooth as well. I always like to say when I see green on the map, it looks good, but we can see right now, looking at SPID traffic moving along pretty well in both directions. And we can also see those beautiful clouds out there early this morning. Well, looking at those traffic maps right now in your neighborhood, from Portland to the Harbor Bridge, we're still looking good this morning. We can see a couple of different colors on the map. We'll take a closer look. But from Portland to the Harbor Bridge, if you're headed in that direction, you're looking good. Ocean Drive also looking good as well. And we just saw SPID on our Skycam, and traffic was moving very smooth in both directions. So if you're headed out to be to work for 7 or even in the next 10, 20 minutes, it's looking good out there. As for Saratoga, minor slowdown along South Staples Street and a little bit north there of Weber. But as we look on over to Waldron Road, there's still a slowdown in both directions, but Flower Bluff Drive looking good, as well as the JFK Causeway. That's it for your traffic. I'll have more weather coming up.
I'm Alexis Scott, your Northside Neighborhood News reporter. And for the past few years, I've driven through the Hillcrest and Washington Coles neighborhoods, and I've always noticed this building, the former Charles W. Crosley Elementary School. I spoke with neighbors about the memories there and looked into what could come next with the building.
Drive along Peabody and Kennedy Avenue on Corpus Christi's north side, and you'll find Charles W. Crosley Elementary School, once a centerpiece for the community on Kepke Street, now an empty shell.
Well, at this time, I see a once beautiful school just in the shambles.
Opened in 1926, Crosley started as a combined elementary and middle school before focusing on grades 1 through 6. As the Hillcrest Washington Coles neighborhood grew as a predominantly African-American community, Crosley was one of the few schools to serve students of color in the early and mid-1900s. Deanna King remembers the joy of being a student there.
I remember my English teacher and my math teacher. A lot of memories went on in this school. I remember, we had spelling bee contests, dance performances.
But today, those memories are all that remain. Crosley closed in 2001 because of declining enrollment.
This school and this community was a foundation for a lot of us. And I think it gave us like a foundation of, how to live life, how to serve others.
Since then, the building has fallen into disrepair. In 2013, a fire caused major damage. And in 2022, another fire left the structure heavily burned and unsafe.
Looking at Crosley right now, how does that make you feel to see its image?
I'm looking at it, it's burned down. It's not in a good place. It's actually disheartening.
Now it's vacant. So I did some digging online to see who actually owns the property. I found it's listed under Dr. Freddie Naranjo, pastor of Tabernacle of Praise Church. He bought the building back in 2012 and says his vision was to turn it into a community church. But those plans hit a wall, with rising costs putting everything on hold. I reached out to Dr. Naranjo for an interview, but he was unavailable.
The owner of this property tells me they're in the process of securing funding for demolition. It's unclear when the building will be completely gone. On the north side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Alexis Scott, KRIS 6 News.
Thanks so much, Alexis. So, folks, for more on her story, you can always head to our website. That's KRISTV.com. And we still have a lot more neighborhood news to get to this morning.
Yeah, that's right. From an issue with a park on the south side to issues with Kingsville's new city manager, we have you covered in your neighborhood check-in.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter on the south side. Rancho Vista's neighborhood playground is fenced off due to safety concerns. Now, the city says a full replacement is on the capital plan, but without guaranteed funding, the timeline remains uncertain.
Notice that mid-May, there's an orange barricade, one of those orange sheets that's around the playground structure.
Heather Kiss is one of several families in the Rancho Vista neighborhood now without a children's playground and gathering spot in her area.
I think it is a big impact for our community.
And after a third-party safety assessment in May, it was determined that the playground equipment was unsafe. So it's been decided to remove the old equipment. But now the city says they are working on a backup plan.
Just, we don't want to take it out and leave it with nothing. And the best way financially for us to take care of that is we're going to scale it down a little bit with the rock wall and some swing sets and some more picnic type areas.
City officials say those temporary additions I mentioned will be ready by this December. But until then, families in Rancho Vista are advised to visit other parks. On the south side, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Tony Jaramillo, KRIS 6 News.
Speaking to KRIS 6 News over the phone, Kingsville Commissioner Edna Lopez continues showing concern about the appointment of new city manager Charlie Sosa. She questions his lack of experience and qualifications. Lopez mentioned during the August 25th City Commissioner Court meeting, Sosa had not followed the proper procedures to get the city's top executive position. KRIS 6 News confirmed Sosa was convicted of shoplifting more than $250. The Las Cruces, New Mexico court documents classified the 2005 crime as a Class 4 felony. Those details leave some residents like Elizabeth Ramos with questions. City commissioners voted 4-1 on August 25th to hire Sosa as city manager and expected to have a salary of $180,000. I called Mayor Sam Fugate, but he declined to do an interview. I also called the other 3 Kingsville commissioners and Charlie Sosa. None of them have returned my calls. Well, it's time for some more weather this morning. Well, we're starting to see more of our sunrise. It is currently 6:46 with a live look outside our CCAC camera overlooking Snoopy's Pier. Well, we have a nice start to our day, looking around 77 degrees for here in Corpus Christi, and we're expected to have a nice warm up into the afternoon. A little bit of that above average temperatures expected for our neighborhoods today. That also lasts a little bit even into our Wednesday. Temperature and feel like right now, as I mentioned, low 80s along the coast, 77 for here in Corpus Christi. Who else is at 77, you might ask? Mathis, George West, and Cotulla. Looking at 75 and 76 for our surrounding neighborhoods. We're going to feel really warm this afternoon between 12 and 6, feeling like triple digits, especially between the warmest part of our day between 2 and 4 p.m. But you can see at 2 o'clock feeling like 104. So we're seeing a couple more days like this with our feel like temperatures hitting triple digits before we come out of that feeling like then just the 90s. We'll feel more like the 90s towards our midweek when we get a little bit of relief from the heat with a cold front. Current winds right now also still pretty light, under 10 miles per hour across all of our neighborhoods. Those will increase this afternoon
along with our heat, but most of our wind this afternoon, well, it's actually morning. Most of our wind this morning is out of the southeast and the south, so a little bit muggier for us. But today we're expecting that high of around 94 degrees for here in Corpus Christi, mostly sunny. We're having the opportunity to also see daily showers as well in the forecast, but the more notable rain chances are Wednesday and Thursday for us this week. As we look at those forecast highs across our neighborhoods today, you can see that the warmest of our neighborhoods will be between Orange Grove, George West, Alice, Freer, and near Falfurrias. So those are going to be our upper 90s there, where we're going to feel the warmest, definitely with those feel like temperatures in the triple digits. But hour by hour, we will get into the 80s into our 9 o'clock hour and into the 90s by noon. Still with the southeast wind under 10 miles per hour, we will hang out in the 90s until our 6 o'clock hour, then getting into upper 80s by 7. But you can see our winds pick up later on in the day between 4 and 7, between 14 and 16 miles per hour with that wind speed. But of course, don't go anywhere. We're still tracking some more things in the forecast, like the first day of fall.
Architecture students at Del Mar College used to have to transfer out to keep chasing their dreams, but not anymore. I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter on the South Side. Del Mar is now bringing in TAMU-CC to help those students continue their education here.
It's difficult to put in a nutshell the importance and the value architects hold. We build the habitat for the human environment.
Laura Wright-Bennick grew up in Corpus Christi and dreamed of being an architect. But without a transfer program, she had to leave. In 2011, when a program coordinator job opened at Del Mar, she jumped right on it.
I wanted to create that opportunity down here for the students that can't leave their communities, or it's challenging to leave their community.
Del Mar College has partnered with Texas A&M University Corpus Christi to offer a local licensed architect transfer program, one of only 9 in the state. Students will complete their first 2 years at Del Mar, with TAMU-CC faculty teaching years 3 through 5.
Being with different professors will help me understand what other people want, and I can learn different things from them.
The new program is for students like Zaira Salazar.
It will be a lot cheaper. I won't have to go move somewhere else and stuff, so I think that will be the best option for me.
But it's also for those who never had the opportunity.
We have a lot of students who have already graduated from the program who are waiting for this to happen.
There's 2 options students can take. The 4+2 route allows students to enter into a different aspect of the industry, and the straight 5-year bachelor's route to become a licensed architect. And it isn't just about architecture.
Construction administration, development, interior design, teaching those students those leadership skills, management skills.
The hope is for students to achieve their dreams and express themselves, and in Zaida's case, create homes right from her own.
I want to create residential houses, but expressive ones. I just wanted to do that, but put my little spice into it.
The new joint program is set to begin next fall, and students in the program are expected to graduate as early as 2029. On the South Side, I'm your Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 Sunrise.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
President Trump says that he will make a major announcement today about autism. The president gave a preview at Charlie Kirk's memorial on Sunday. Reports say today's announcement is expected to link the development of autism in children with use of the pain reliever Tylenol during pregnancy.
President Donald Trump will be in New York for the UN General Assembly today. The gathering marks the group's 80th anniversary and comes amid wars in Ukraine and Gaza. On Friday, the assembly voted to allow Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas to address the gathering by video. Abbas had hoped to attend in person before the U.S. revoked his visa last month. The Trump administration says it's opposed to a 2-state solution, saying it has emboldened Hamas.
Google will be back in court today for the remedies phase of the Justice Department's antitrust case. The government is asking a judge for Google to sell parts of its advertising technology business. An earlier ruling found Google had an illegal monopoly in online advertising markets. Google said it will appeal the decision and argues that the Justice Department's proposed remedies go too far. The company wants to keep its ad business together, but make it more compatible with other competitors.
Ford is recalling more than 100,000 sedans over faulty door trims that could become road hazards. The recall affects Ford Taurus model years 2016 to 2019. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the front door trims may come off while driving. So far, the company has received more than 450 warranty claims, but reports no crashes or injuries. Dealers will inspect the vehicles and replace the trim free of charge.
The Corpus Christi police continue to crack down on reckless driving. CCPD made 7 arrests over the weekend. The drivers were observed either driving recklessly or racing in various locations such as Water Street, Ocean Drive, Shoreline Boulevard, and Ennis Jocelyn. The drivers will be facing various charges, and all the vehicles were impounded.
Cole Park Skate Park is closed for repairs. Cole Park will be open for visitors to use the other park amenities, though, like the Pier, Plaza, Play for All Playground, walking trail, and amphitheater. So if you're visiting, make sure you're aware of the signage and temporary barriers at the work site to be safe. Maintenance for the skate park includes repairing damaged concrete and smoothing and troweling certain areas. In the meantime, skaters, you're encouraged to visit either the Ranowski Park at 422 Graham Road or the West Guth Skate Park at 9700 Upriver Road. The work is expected to be completed by September 26th.
All right, you got to check this out. It's pretty cool. An oil painting by Pablo Picasso, unseen for 80 years, will be up for auction next month. It's titled Bust of a Woman in a Flowery Hat. It depicts French artist Dora Maar wearing a bright flowery hat made up of the pastel strokes. Maar was one of Picasso's lovers and most famous muses. The newly discovered portrait was created in 1943 during the Nazi occupation of Paris. An unnamed collector acquired it in 1944 and it has remained in his family ever since. Auction house Liens Paris is selling the painting on October 24th.
And it's probably going for what, millions?
Oh, easily, yeah. A Picasso, an unseen Picasso like this too? Easy, 4 or 5 million.
It's so
Easy.
cool. I wish we can have a Picasso up in our house, but unfortunately,
we do have a little bit of work. We have a piece called El Passion, and yeah, and we do have some other decor from our wedding, the Hoffman wedding. But other than that, yeah, I would love a Picasso. What about you, Diamond? What Renaissance or what other painter rather would you want?
Oh, don't put me on the spot like that. Oh my gosh! But I always wanted to do like a cool picture, like in Titanic. Fully clothed, of course. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But, just like hey, the sun is shining.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. We don't need people coming after us this morning. But yeah, a nice little portrait, if you will. Sure. I could post me up somewhere in the house. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, how about that weather today?
Yeah, paint a picture for us in the
paint
sky.
us a picture of the sky.
I will paint your weather picture of the day. So right now, temperatures are in the low 80s along the coast. We're looking at 77 for here in Corpus Christi. And some of our other neighborhoods are also around 77, a little bit of 75 as well. We're a little bit warmer than what we usually should be around this time of year, especially with our highs of the day. If you're wanting to walk your dog, this is a picture of Carol. Well, once again, those temperatures look pretty decent up until noon. We hit 90 degrees into our noon hour. We gradually warm up, hitting the 80s into our 9 o'clock hour. So those forecast high temperatures stay above normal through Wednesday, slightly dipping Thursday, a little bit back to above normal before kind of evening out into the beginning of October. But that average for us is 90 degrees. So as we look at the average high temperature for September, it's around 90. But as we go into October, it starts to lessen to 85. So we have a little bit of a ways to go before we get closer to those averages. So for right now, we're looking at above 90 for our neighborhoods today. And we're looking at a little bit of heat risk as well out west. And that's also extending a little bit closer to the coast near Rockport and Sentinel and Corpus Christi. Alice and Freer and Cotulla. Tomorrow looks a lot worse because we're expected to be warmer tomorrow than what we are today. And our feel-like temperatures are definitely touching triple digits throughout our afternoons. Warmest part of the day between 2 and 4 p.m. We're hoping to get some relief by the midweek with a cold front coming through. That's going to be our best opportunity of rainfall between widely scattered and scattered. So throughout the week, we do have some daily rain chances, but for the most part between Wednesday and Thursday. Well, it's the
start of fall today, exactly at 1:19 p.m. So we have a couple more hours to go. But as far as those temperatures for us, we're looking once again above normal for our Monday through Wednesday, mid-90s there. But coming through into Wednesday and Thursdays, our cold front coming through, dropping our temperatures into Thursday. So it'll feel a little bit more like fall, if you will.
A little bit.
Yeah. I know, right? Like 90. That's not far.
As much as we can here in the South
We'll
Texas.
take it.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We will see you later on today. Have a good one.
I'm Stephanie Molina, your neighborhood news reporter in Kingsville.